Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hello, 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 hello. Yvette Sojourner here. Yvette Sojourner here. Welcome. Listen, if you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. How is all this goodness going to be spread across the YouTubeverse and the interweb? This is the place in the space where luxury meets authenticity. Oh my goodness. Listen to me. Listen to me. It has been an adventure. It has been an adventure. I have updated my camera recently, and let me tell you, it has been just a complete experience. I did not anticipate all that was going to happening. Do you hear me? I just want to be transparent with you. So if I appear a little different, that is what it is. I am still getting acclimated to this camera, and I'm speechless. I have been rendered speechless. Yes, I mean, there's no words. There's no words. What I will share with you is I have recorded this 3 times. This is ridiculous. I have never experienced anything like this before. This is a complete first for me. But I was determined. I would get this right for all of you. So here we are. Here we are. I tell you, after 3 sessions, I've lost so many days trying to get this together. Okay, enough of that. Let me see if I can scoot a little closer. You know, I love getting up close and personal with all of you, and I don't even know if this camera will allow me to turn it. It may fight and resist me. So if it gets blurry, I hope it does not, after all I've gone through and I've done. I hope it doesn't. But if it does, please bear with me. Bear with me in this transition. Bear with me. I swear to you, it will be worth it in the end. I hope. If not, I'm going back to my old camera. Listen, I am not even going to pretend like I am not tempted. I am not. So, all that to say, we've made it. I have arrived. Listen to me. Oh my goodness, it has been such a journey getting here today, but I have arrived. We're here. Oh my, I swear, midway, I was just going to give up completely, and I just was like, this isn't going to happen. But anyway, okay. Today's video, Today we are going to talk about if I were to do it all again. If I were to start my Hermes experience again, I would, yeah, that's what we're discussing on today. And I'm sharing this in hopes that I could help others just beginning this process, or if you further along and you just want to glean some tidbits, I hope I can be of assistance when it comes to that. But also past Yvette Sojourner, younger Yvette Sojourner, this is what I would share with her. Allow me to briefly explain my Hermes experience up until this point. I'm going to keep it curt. I'm going to try my hardest. Listen, you all know I love talking to you. This is why we're probably like 5 minutes in and I'm still talking to you like this. I just enjoy it. I enjoy it. So in this video, let me go ahead and put my disclaimers out. I may repeat myself. Yes, because this information to me is very important, but then also to emphasize some things, it will happen. Another thing I should point out is I am going to talk. If you do not come here for that, then you're in the wrong place, because honey, that is what I do. That is who I am. If I am not talking, I don't know who Yvette Sojourner is. It is not Yvette Sojourner if that's not happening. Just gonna let you know. Let's dive into my Hermes experience up until today. My experience began October 2022, and that is my in-boutique experience. Prior to that, I did dabble in the pre-love market when it came to Hermes, hence how I acquired my vintage Kelly 32 Cellier box leather with gold hardware. Yes, you heard that. You see me winking? Gold hardware. That should say a lot about my experience, okay? Gold hardware, if you know me, you know that it is rare that I bust out some gold. You know it, you know it, you know it. So if you don't know me, oh, you need to get to know me. Hop over to my channel and just absorb all the information there. And I tell you, it is worth it. You will not regret it. But all those who know me know that I am not big on gold hardware, and I learned that from that specific bag. I also made some purchases online as well from the Hermes website prior to visiting the boutique for the first time. So that did happen. It was just a couple of, I believe it was small leather goods, nothing really big, just a couple things. And then after Hubs and I had a discussion, it was agreed upon that I would not do that because going to the boutique was the best way to go about this. And that is where we landed. We ended up going to the boutique October 2022, and it was for my birthday. I picked up a couple things, a scarf ring, my first cashmere silk scarf with the phoenix on it with the pink and ivories. I also picked up, I believe, a Constance belt with gold hardware. Listen, that gold hardware, honey, I was going in hard. So when you all sit there and think like, why is she always wearing silver, white gold, palladium? What is the deal? I have tried all the things. Let me just be honest. I've tried so many things. I like what I like. That is all to it. So in 2022 for that visit, I picked up a couple of things, and that was nice. It was nice. I was happy to be able to go into the boutique physically for two reasons. First off, I wanted to know what it was actually all about. What was it like to be in a luxury boutique of that magnitude? What was the ambiance? What was the environment like? What were the people like? Was it truly what people said it would be like? The second thing was the essay. I was really curious to see if the essays actually treated people the way I heard and saw on social media. And to my surprise, I quickly learned a lot of the things that I saw and heard was not applicable. It was a very welcoming environment. The essay I ended up working with, that is still my essay till today, is amazing. Okay, not even amazing. She is phenomenal. She is phenomenal. The other essays within the boutique are the exact same. I interact with all of them on a regular basis once I'm there, and it has been an amazing experience. The atmosphere and the environment, oh my goodness, so welcoming, so welcoming. And I really feel when I first walked in, I was so nervous, I was so anxious, I had so many thoughts, and my essay picked up on that, and she really did comfort me. I mean, she comforted me to the point where I knew I was just good, and I was just happy to be able to be in the space, but also meet someone who just quickly picked up on my anxiety, because I was very, very anxious, very nervous. Hubs was with me, but it still can be overwhelming. My essay did an immaculate job taking care of me in that situation. So the first visit was amazing. I left knowing that I would be taken care of. I was still kind of skeptical because I was like, who knows what will happen next? Shortly after that visit, so that was October 2022, shortly after that, I was offered a Baron wallet with black hardware. So it was monochrome, it was black leather and black hardware. And my essay reached out to me to offer me that. And I was really surprised by it because I was under the impression that the essays only reached out for bags. But in this instance, as soon as it came in and they had it, she reached out to me and she told me that it was rare. It indeed is rare. That this is from my experience, that I've come across a monochrome anything when it comes to Hermes. So yes, I quickly accepted that piece, seeing the direction I was going and curating my wardrobe. So then time passed, and I did reach out to my essay to give her my wish list because that was a request that she made, but then also to just stay in touch and asked if there were any bags in. Seeing I started in 2022, when it came to small leather goods and bags, yes, it was very scarce at that point. I mean, it was very scarce. So I did reach out and inquire if they had any bags because we were preparing for our trip to France. Did not hear much of anything. We did go back and forth. We did chat, but nothing regarding or related to a bag. Then February 2023, my essay reached out to me and she had something for me. It was a Picatinny 18 and I was so excited because first off, it was black and it had palladium hardware. I was not going to decline that bag. I'm just going to let you know because I was going to France and I wanted to make sure I took something that was very subtle so I can get used to being in spaces with a bag of that stature, but then also that was still sleek and classy. I really was going for that look. I still aim for that when I am out and about in the world. I went down, accepted the bag. So that was in February. After accepting the Picatinny, we hopped on a flight to go to France, went to Paris to the Hermes boutique, and I was offered the Birkin 30 in gold with palladium hardware. I was absolutely excited about that bag because it was at the top of my wish list. After our 2-month stay in France, we flew back to the US, and in June, our essay reached out again and she offered me a Birkin 25 in Quadro, and let me tell you, I was very skeptical about this bag. I was very skeptical. I just wasn't sure. I was so used to all leather bags that were in a neutral tone. So something like a Quadro with a canvas like texture, I was not even sure. So what I did was I reached out to my essay in France to ask her opinion, and she just was like, yes, get this bag. It is so you. It has that retro chic look that you are going for, and I immediately accepted it. Then in August, I was offered the mini Evelyn. That was a gift from Hubs. I am going to tell you something. At first, I was going to just turn that bag down because first off, it was not a quota bag and it was an e-taupe. And I was like, that, I don't know, and da-da-da. Ends up being the best bag I have. I carry it every single day. I travel with it. It is just the bag that I go to. And I know those who follow me are aware of this because I mention it all the time. That also started my love for e-taupe. Yes, it did. In October, I was contacted again, and this time it was for the Guetta. That was another gift from Hubs. It's the black leather with the palladium hardware, but it has the touch of like a maroonish tone within the palladium hardware. That bag is everything. I love that bag. So that's 2022, 2023. Now in 2024, I was offered 2 mini Constances that I declined. One was a yellowish tone and one was like a burnt orange. One had palladium hardware, the other one had that brassy tone hardware. And because of the hardware, I turned it down. The other one, it was just based on a color. I did not want those colors at that time. I don't even know if I would accept those colors today, but I am so happy that I did not accept those bags because in March, right before we were due to fly out, just days before we were supposed to fly out, our essay reached out and she had a Kelly 28 Cellier box leather palladium hardware, and I was like, absolutely. Let me tell you something. We were going to Monte Carlo that year, so in 2024 for the first time, and I thought it was such a beautiful, beautiful gesture to carry my Kelly in Monte Carlo, period. I just thought it would be the most amazing nod to the Grace Kelly, nod to Hermes. It did not disappoint. It did not disappoint. I accepted that bag quick. Do you hear me? I almost ran down. I didn't even have to take the car. I would have went by foot if I had to. I accepted that bag and I did end up carrying it. It was such a wonderful piece to have and carry in that space. It was very luxurious. We fly to France a couple days after. I take my Kelly 28 Cellier, box leather, black palladium hardware. And we go to the boutique in Paris as always to see my essay there. And I am offered two bags. One was a mini Kelly in black with ostrich leather and palladium hardware. I fell in love with that bag. I loved it, but my phone did not fit. And at that point in time, I was really looking for bags my phone would fit into. It did not work. But because my essay in France is a wild card, listen to me, she is a wild card. She challenges me and pushes me outside of my comfort zone completely. Listen, this is who she is. I have accepted it. She is also a stylist, so I trust her. And she offered me a Constance 24 in rose. I accepted that bag. It is just a beautiful piece and complements my wardrobe so just effortlessly. So I carried the Kelly and I carried the Constance while I was in Monte Carlo. I cannot tell you how lovely it was to have just those two pieces and be able to switch between the two as I transition through the space in the different areas. It was just lovely. It was just lovely. So then we fly back to the US, of course, and life goes on. And in July, my essay here reached out again. This time she had a mini Constance in Chev leather. And let me tell you something, I was not going to accept that bag. My first thought was no, and it was a hard no, but Hubs was there and he said, just try it out, see if your phone fits, and it fits. My phone fit into that bag. I accepted that bag immediately. During that visit, I also ended up picking up the Her bag. I will be doing a review on that bag, so be on the lookout for that when I start releasing my travel content before we fly to France this year. Then, of course, October rolls around. Hermes is having their big event at my local boutique. I get a VIP appointment and I am offered a Birkin 30 Cellier black with palladium hardware. And let me tell you, of course, I accepted that bag. I was just so excited. That was one of the bags, not in Cellier, but a black Birkin 30 had been on my list since the very beginnings. And I finally was able to acquire it and I was happy to have it. That is the bag that I did not even touch until I picked up my new Porsche Macan. And if you go back and watch that video, which you should, I know it's not an Hermes video, but you should definitely check it out. When I open up the front trunk, it's tucked in there and you can see it. It was so funny and I had so much fun like fastening it into the seatbelt. Yes, I saw people do that and I thought it was the cutest thing, so I went ahead and I did it as well. Yes, I did. I did that. But it was a great bag to carry for that occasion, especially to mark that occasion. So now we are in 2025. Thus far, and I said thus far, I have been offered a mini Kelly in E-taupe. And if I had not accepted that mini Evelyn in E-taupe at the beginnings of my experience, I would not have been aware of my appreciation for that color. So when I was offered this mini Kelly in E-taupe, it was an automatic yes. Automatic yes. It matched the dress that I had chosen for the Tiffany event perfectly, but it just fits so seamless into my wardrobe. It's really, for me, it feels so much like a black or the gold. It's just such a great combination and pairing to so many things that I already own. I did say as yet because I still have to go to France in 2025. So that trip is coming up and I do not know what I may be offered. I do know that my essay, like I said, in France, she's a wild card. I have to be open, but I am excited at the opportunities of what will be offered to me, if anything at all. Who knows? But I'm hopeful. I'm a little hopeful. Let's get back to this topic. If I were to start my Hermes experience again, I would acknowledge The power of the essay sooner. When I first started out, I knew that I needed to connect with my essay. I just did not know how that should happen. And I also wasn't really aware of what role the essay played, right? It's like, you know, the essay is the one who is going to be offering XYZ, whatever it may be, a bag, ready to wear, whatever pieces it is that you're interested in. What I was not aware of was how much power my essay had. So, for instance, I truly believe it's really a superpower. So I would have relied more heavily on my essay and trusting my essay with the things that were happening behind the scenes when I was not there, which makes sense because I'm not physically there all the time. I'm just not. Whereas my essay is always working on my behalf when I'm not present, and she's kind of my voice in those moments. So I would definitely own that more and keep that in mind and remind myself of that, because as I said, when I'm not there, she's the one who is working on my behalf to get me the things that I am saying that I express interest in and that I want. I would really focus on building a genuine connection with my essay. I'm going to elaborate on this more, but I will just say that. I don't want to mention it here, but I will definitely touch on it a little later. I would step into the space with a lot more confidence in owning the fact that I belong there and that I myself have my own superpower, which is I am the one that is driving what it is that I want and no one else. It is definitely important to keep that in mind. Like, when I stepped into the space in the past, I was very intimidated. I had not been in a space like that prior to that point, and that is because, I mean, this is a new experience for me as well. I don't know for how many of you, but for me, starting out where I started out as far as my lived experience, this was something that was just brand new. So when I went into the space, I was not able to fully show up as myself and be confident in that. If I were to do it all over again, I would really hone into that. I would take up all the space when I was there. I would take up all of the space. Why do I say that? Because I know there are some who are standing outside the window of the Hermes boutique looking in and very self-conscious about even going into the doors. I am here to tell you, go inside the boutique. Go inside the boutique. You will be surprised at how you're treated. Just go in. Look at the things that you want to look at, be it shoes, scarves, ready to wear, home goods. It doesn't matter. Do it. I had to build my confidence to where I am today. And if you do not believe me, go watch my first Hermes video and then watch this one again. Watch this one again. Go watch the first one and then come back and watch this one. It's a whole process. It's a whole process. I have evolved. And a lot of it does have to do with being in those spaces and continuing to show up and continuing being myself. That is another thing I would tell my past self. Be you. Be you. Everyone else is taken. Everyone else is taken. Just be you. You will not regret it, because that is who the essay or your essay is going to be working with. If you show up as someone else, do not be surprised if your essay is baffled and confused as far as what to even present to you. I'm just going to be honest. That's what I'm here for. That is what I'm here for. Now, if you already possess all the confidence, that segment right there isn't for you. It's not meant for you. And that is perfectly fine. It's for those who may be similar to myself. I was very intimidated, but thank goodness I had hubs. I also had a wonderful essay in both US and France who picked up on it. And now it's like, I walk up in there, I'm like the Phoenix, honey. I'm on fire. I am not playing games, okay? I'm taking up all the space. Do not even try me. This is who I am now. In the beginning, I would also own that it is okay to be open. I have to say, I was so tethered to my wish list. It was insane. Even though I did not even know what it was I really wanted, I was just so tethered to that wish list. And a lot of that was on that list, a lot of it was what I've learned from others as far as from social media. So it was really a generic list, but with time I ended up honing it and molding it and shaping it so that it was mine. But if I could start all over again, I would allow myself to be more open to the fact that if you're being offered something, it's a good thing, because that's going to get you to discovering and finding what it is you want and what you're looking for. Those offerings, everything that SA is offering you is getting you closer to learning what it is you want and don't want. And it's also aiding the SA as well. I just mentioned for myself, a lot of what I had on my wish list was from social media. So if you have to start off with a generic wish list and you're watching me and you're watching my videos and you're basing some of those things on your list off of what I have or what I've reviewed and shown, that's a good start. Do not get me wrong, a generic wish list is perfect, but just know, be open to when things begin to shift and change, because it's really you discovering what it is you're really wanting and seeking. For me personally, it took time to get there, and I'm still learning things today. I'm still learning new things about myself every day and every step in this process. So just know that your wish list will evolve, your needs and your wants will evolve, and that is perfectly fine. Create your wish list. Create your wish list, but be open. If I could do it all over again, and I'm talking to past Yvette Sojourner, I would say, darling, create your list, but be open to the possibilities, because the possibilities are endless. I'm just gonna be honest with you on that one. It's an experience and process. Listen to me. A lot of people say journey. I do not like to use that term. I really feel it is a process and an experience. That is what I use personally. Why do I say experience? I say experience because you are going through this process of learning about who you are, what you like, what you want, but then also about the brand. If you're truly interested in Hermes and the brand, then you'll take the time out to actually learn about Hermes and its rich history. But most importantly, you will learn about yourself if you are open enough and you continue to go through the process. Great example. This year, you may be just wanting the color yellow. Like, oh, yellow is at the top of your list. You want a yellow Birkin, a yellow Kelly, a yellow just everything, ready to wear, shoes, everything yellow. Who knows what you may like the following month, the following week, and the following day. Things change, you will evolve, and that is okay. That is what it's all about. It's about you learning about yourself and getting closer to what it is you're wanting and who you are. If I could start the Hermes experience again, I would tell myself that it is not weird to fall in love with other categories outside of handbags. Listen, bags are great, they're wonderful, but there are so many other things at Hermes outside of handbags. There are. And when you open yourself up to those things, then it is an amazing, holistic, organic experience. I have had some mention the fact that maybe I like ready to wear because it's bait, but I have to say that is not true. I really do appreciate Hermes's ready to wear, just like I really do appreciate Hermes's home goods. I am not solely there for the bags. Listen, not everyone is going after a bag. Some people are just at Hermes because they truly do appreciate the brand, and that is okay. It's not weird. That should be the goal, but you know, it is what it is. That struck a nerve. I don't do things for bait. I don't bait. That's not something I do. I go after what I want and what I love. That is what I do. That is Yvette Sojourner. that right there. If I could do it all over again, if I could start my Hermes experience again, I would trust the process. This is something I am telling you, it is one of the hardest things for me personally to do, because till this day when my essay says certain things, I'm like, really? Seriously? Girl, are you telling me the truth? Like, it's just who I am. It's just who I am. But I would trust the process knowing that it will happen. I would trust the process. I would not buy into the hype. Listen, the rumor mill is real. Yes, Hermes has policy changes. Hermes does things differently when it comes to quota bags. There are all kinds of changes that happen on a regular basis, but not everyone knows the true reason or the true policy or the true answer to what it is, because there's no such thing as an Hermes university. If there were, I would probably have several doctorates, okay? Because that's how interested I am when it comes to this brand. But I do not. There are no secret codes. There are no secret methods. This is just me speaking from my experience. But listen, if you know any, you let me know in the comments. Let us all know so that you're not gatekeeping. We need to know what they are, because I have no clue. And I only can speak from my own personal experience, okay? So just keep that in mind. But yes, people are going to talk. That is what some do in order to create content. They need content, that's how they get it. Whereas others, they may have heard from one person to another person to another person that these things are happening. Honestly, I do not pay much attention to what is being said when it comes to Hermes, unless Hermes is telling me directly, which they're not calling my phone. So, I mean, I'm just letting you know. This is just what I do. So if I could do it all over again, I would tell my younger self, younger Yvessa Joyner, don't buy into the hype. Yes, it is going to cost monies. Yes, it is going to take time, but you're going to have to be patient, and it is going to happen, period. It's the only way. And that's, as I said, that's the only way that I know. Trust me, it will happen. Trust me, it will happen. That's what I would tell myself. Trust me, it will happen. That is one of the hardest things that I am going to share with you today, is being patient. That's one of the hardest things. There's another, but this is the top one. Be patient. I know it's hard. I have no patience. I have no patience. Hubs will tell you, I have no patience. But here we are. If I could start my Hermes journey again, I would also remind myself to say no. No is my superpower. No is your superpower. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Listen, I will say it again. No is your superpower. No is what is going to get you, by saying no, it is going to get you closer to what it is you're actually wanting. I can say, for instance, when I was offered those 2 constances, if I had said yes to either of those, I would not have been offered the bag I really wanted, the black Kelly Cellier in box leather with platinum hardware. I would have been sitting there with a yellow or orange, burnt orange Constance, which would have been okay. It would have been okay, but those weren't the bags I really wanted. And I'm happy that I exercised and used my no in those 2 instances, because I ended up with what I really truly wanted. So just know, no is your superpower. It is going to get you closer to the things that you truly desire and want. It is going to get you closer to refining your wardrobe and your aesthetic to where you want it. So make sure you're exercising your no. Say no to those things you really do not like. If you're saying yes to everything and then later you're wondering why your essay keeps offering you all these random things, then you need to step back and evaluate how you're exercising your no, if you even are. Okay, because that is really truly what's going to help your essay learn what you like and don't like. If you're saying yes to everything, then they're going to keep offering you everything. But as soon as you continue to refine by saying no, you'll be offered more things closer to what aligns to what you're wanting. That is, yeah, that's good. I like that one. That one I like myself. Here are some tips to nurture your essay relationship without it feeling transactional. Without it feeling transactional, here are some tips for that. As you get to know your essay, do not rush the process. Be yourself. Be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Be you. Be you. If you're acting like someone else other than yourself, do not be alarmed or surprised at how your essay responds to you. Be you. When you're traveling, taking trips, or special occasions, share with your essay. If you share those things, they will reciprocate. I swear to you, it may take time, but they will. My essay in the US and my essay in France are very different. They are very different people. My essay in the US is very responsive. I began to share with her about our trips and vacations and so on and so forth in the beginnings because she asked me to share those things, and I was skeptical at first, but I did. So for instance, when I was offered my gold Birkin, I sent her a picture because I was so excited. It was my first quota bag, and she responded and was just as excited as I was. It was hilarious how excited she was. And then when we went to Monte Carlo with the Kelly, I sent her pictures of that and the Constance that I got, and she just really does appreciate it. My Hermes in France is very, very similar. I was surprised. At first she was not that way, or at least it just took time to build that connection. But now, oh my goodness, when we had the Hermes event where I had my VIP appointment, I was trying to determine what I was going to wear. I sent her a number of photos, like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? We went back and forth. She actually styled my outfit for that event for me. So what I wore for that event, she picked out for me. I am so thankful. She has always been there for me and showed up for me in those moments. I swear to you. And even with the Birkin 25 in Quattro, when I reached out to her and I was like, I don't know, I just don't. And she just was like, absolutely, this is you need to take it. So this is the type of exchanges I have with them. I talk about my vacations, what's going on. If I need help with styling something, if I just need another opinion, I will definitely send it to them. If we're having an anniversary celebration, which is interesting, my essay and I have the same wedding anniversary, so we always exchange different things on those days. It's just something that I do now. So make sure you're sharing about your life with your essay. It may take time when it comes to sharing, right? Because you're trying to get acclimated yourself. It may take time for your essay to share with you as well. Be patient. I just gave you a great example of the differences between my two essays and how it did take more time with my essay in France. Now, listen, I send her a message, she responds. We just have that type of relationship. Talk about more than just bags and Hermes. It is okay to talk about other things. I mean, if you're talking about the way a scarf is designed. Did you see my scarf? Did you see? Yes, it's another Hermes scarf. If you want to learn about the history of the Hermes scarf, your essay is a well of information. Your essay will potentially know those things and share those things with you, especially if it is their expertise. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but you can definitely talk about more than just handbags and Hermes with your essay. I said it. I'm gonna leave that there for you to think about. I'm gonna leave that there. If your essay specializes in something, because I just mentioned it, if your essay specializes in something, tap into that. Tap into that. If your essay is a stylist, allow your essay to style you. Not only because you're just trying to get in good with them, but because you can learn so much. I have learned so much from my essays regarding styling, especially my essay in France. I mean, she is so immaculate at putting things together. So when I get there, she has a slew of items that she puts together for me. And as I said, she is a wild card. Some of the things I look at and I'm just like, what is this? Absolutely not. I'm not even being bothered with you. But I still do it. And there's so many times I have learned so much about myself and fallen in love with so many pieces that she shared with me, because she's taught me how to wear them, how to style them, what I can put them with, and so on and so forth. And she also makes sure to emphasize the multiple ways a piece can be worn so that I can maximize my use of those pieces. Listen, my essays are amazing. So if your essay specializes in something and you learn about it, oh, embrace that. Embrace that. Tap into it. That's all I'm gonna say. Purchasing strategy. When I'm making purchases, I'm very intentional about the things that I purchase. I just am. So here are some ways that I do that. One of the biggest ways that I apply this is Wishlist. I am big on lists. I know now I am not relying on them as much as I was in the beginning, because a lot of it I've learned and I know. But in the beginning, I created lists and I really went through my list on a regular basis. So here are the things that I do. Before I even consider buying anything, I go into my wardrobe and I evaluate. I evaluate for things that are missing. So if I'm lacking in a certain category, or if I have to repair or upgrade something, those are the things that I look for. Or if there's something that I just feel I absolutely would like to kind of round out my wardrobe, that's it. That's what I will go for. So this is how I begin my process. Then I go into the list mode where I'm going through the different things. I look and make sure I have the colors I'm wanting, the styles I'm wanting, the cut at the time, be it slacks or tops that I want. Because we evolve and we change, I always want to make sure what I'm looking for is actually going to fit seamlessly in my wardrobe when it comes to what I already have and possess. So before I even go to the boutique, I go onto the Hermes website and I look at what is available online, what is in for the season. And I send images to my essay to prepare to see if she has it available, if it can be ordered, so on and so forth. Then I ask what she has in mind, what she thinks would look good on me, what will work for me, and have her send me those images. The reason I do this is because if there are things that I know for a fact is not going to work for me, I prepare myself to say no before I even get there. That is why I have her do this. So then I'm ready, because I know at times once you get there, you see each other, you get into the fitting room, and then you're kind of overwhelmed and you may not want to even have to deal with saying no. But this is what I do to prepare. So she sends the images, I go through the different items that she sent me to make my decision. Before I even get there, once I get there, I'm ready and equipped to say no to the things that I do not like. I have to build up to it sometimes. There's other times when it's like absolutely not. But then there's some things it's more so I'd rather try it on to see than to immediately say no. This also helps me in giving myself time to decide on the things that I want to get, so that I can thoroughly think about, consider, and sit down with it and make sure it's something that aligns with what I'm wanting. When it comes to wish lists, this is what I will say to you. Make sure you are continuously updating your wish list. Please make sure you are continually updating your wish list. The worst thing to happen is for your essay to offer you something that was on your wish list that you forgot to update from the beginning of the year, and you're sitting there like, I don't even like that anymore. Listen. This has not happened to me, but I can only imagine if it did. I would be so heartbroken. I would be so heartbroken. Remember to update your wish list regularly, okay? Because we have to send our essays a wish list. Make sure you're updating it. Can you imagine if I was offered a bag and it had gold hardware? That right there, I would be completely devastated. I would. So that's just one example, When I'm selecting a bag, this is my process. I always ask how it's going to fit into my life. I know it's easier said than done. I know this one's easier said than done, but I definitely do consider how it's going to fit my life. First things first, whatever bag I accept has to be Yvette Sojourner proof, and you all know what I'm talking about. I am not the kindest or gentlest when it comes to my bags. I carry my bags. So with that, I have to have bags that align with that. I also take in consideration everyday use. I want bags that I am going to want to carry on a regular basis without any excuses. That is my preference. All of the bags that I've accepted and all the bags that I will accept have to match my aesthetic and fit seamlessly in my wardrobe. Those bags that have been an exception, I only believe there's only been one, and that was the Constance in Rose. It still fits seamlessly in my wardrobe. That is how I select my bags. That is how that one question, it just leads the entire process. With that, I have to add, I have evolved, and once upon a time, I only accepted bags my phone fit in, because at that point in time, that was my goal. That has changed because life has happened. Life happens. Life happens. And now that we attend more events and functions, for instance, the Hermes events, the Tiffany events, those types of events, I quickly learned, even in Monte Carlo, that I needed a smaller bag. Before that point though, I did not even have to consider it because it wasn't something that we were doing. Once I started to attend these different events, I quickly realized a smaller bag is better. I do not like to walk around a space with a lot of people bumping into them or my bag bumping into things. So I have opted to pursue smaller bags for those specific moments. For instance, my mini Kelly and E tote, just perfect, the perfect size bag for the Tiffany event and other events in the future. When I attend another Hermes event in the future, I will definitely be carrying a smaller bag. It just makes more sense, and I love to be able to move around the space seamlessly so that I can interact with other people. It is harder with a bigger bag, especially with me, because I just be bumping into things and people, and it just gets out of hand, and it gets heavy as the night goes on. It just gets so heavy. The Kelly 28 was not it. The Birkin 25 doesn't have the overall look that I'm going for those specific events. I think a smaller Birkin that's below the 25 may work. I'm not sure. The same with the Kelly 25. I think that may work. I will not know for sure until I see these bags. So hopefully in the future, I am offered some of these bags in different sizes that are below the Kelly 28 and the Birkin 30. What I wish I knew when it came to navigating the Hermes system. What do I wish I knew? If I could do it all over again, I would. To be honest with you, when I first started, I was under the misconception, and this is the biggest one for me. I was under the misconception it would take years for it to happen. This is me being as transparent with you as possible, okay? I thought it would take years, or actually it would never happen. But I have to say, if you look at my experience, it happened really quickly for me. So yes, if I could do it all over again, I would tell myself just to be patient and know it will happen. I was also under the misconception that quota bags were the only bags worth accepting. Yes, I was under the misconception that quota bags were the only bags worth accepting. I was like, what? Non-quota bag? Nobody wants an Evelyn or a Guetta or a Pickerton, right? But no, non-quota bags are amazing bags. I mean, it brings a level of versatility to my wardrobe that I did not even plan or anticipate. So shame on me. I am so happy that I accepted those non-quota bags when I did. A lot of them are hard to get now. I've believe, harder than the quota bags to get. I really do appreciate the fact that I accept those bags back then because I have no regrets. When starting the Hermes experience, a lot of people have preconceived notions about how the process works, be it social media or online discussions. This is how I would approach that differently today. In the beginning, it is easy to get caught up in chasing a quota bag, a Constance, a Kelly, or a Birkin, and feeling like success is measured by how quickly you attain one of those bags. Listen, if I could start all over again, I would tell myself to focus on the experience and building that relationship with your SA. Focus on those two things. The bags will come. The bags will come. Avoid comparison. I have a story for this one. So that day that I went down for my Picotin, the very first bag I was offered at an Hermes boutique here in the US, that same day, when I got there was a woman there with her 2 children. And she was being offered and revealed a mini Kelly on that very day. And there I was being offered a Picotin, okay? I have to say, I did not think anything of it as it was happening. I was so excited for her as far as her offer, and she was just so happy. When my Picotin came out, I was just happy that I was being offered anything at all. So there was no need for me or want or desire for me to be that individual as it was happening, okay? Let me clear that up immediately. What I will say is, it is so ironic because now I've unboxed my own mini Kelly and I'm sitting there thinking about this moment and talking to you, and I'm just like, gosh, at that point in time, it was so far from my mind. I was just so excited to be offered any bag, period. But at that same moment, this woman was being offered a mini Kelly, and I'm just in awe at the fact that now look at me, look at where I am. Can you imagine, just bear with me, can you imagine if I reacted a certain way because I did not get that bag, that mini Kelly versus a Picotin? Can you imagine the trajectory of my experience had I acted out and said, well, I want what she has. I want that bag. I don't want this one. Why are you giving me this? I asked for a quota bag. Yes, it would have been very different. It would have been very different. It would have been a very different experience. I would have been on a very different trajectory. This is just an example of how comparison could have played out. For me personally, it did not play out that way. I did see this individual unbox her bag. I didn't watch her stare. It's just that she was in a space that was close to where I had to sit to get my bag. But I was just so amazed and in awe at the fact that someone actually was able to attain this thing that everyone was saying was impossible, or it felt like it was impossible. And here I was getting a bag too. It just wasn't the same type of bag. And I just appreciated that fact, period. Hands down. But just know, do not compare your chapter 1 with someone else's chapter 100. Please don't. It is not a fair comparison to begin with. Just focus on your experience and knowing and trusting the process and knowing that it will happen. There's another time when someone was being offered a mini Kelly and I was present, and that was more recent. So it was during my VIP appointment. I had connected with someone and her husband, and during the visit they were revealing to her and her husband a mini Kelly. It was a custom mini Kelly that she was being given. I was amazed. They did invite me over to share in the experience. I was so appreciative that I was able to be a part of that with them. But can you imagine on that day, had I behaved in a way of, why is she getting this special order in this mini Kelly and I'm not? and I just started to act all out, can you imagine? I probably would not have even been offered my Birkin 30 in Celly. This is further along in my experience. The first time I experienced it was when I was picking up my very first bag offer, and that was my Pickerton. That's when the person was being offered to Minnie Kelly. And then this second time that it has happened, it was way further along in my experience. So that was just last year this happened. I have to say, just be mindful, be respectful, and when someone else is being offered something or it's being revealed to them, just show appreciation to even be in the space as it's happening. But also know it will happen for you as well, because look, that happened December for me. Okay, so I was there for the VIP appointment. It was 2024 of last year that happened. We're in 2025, so within a couple months, I'm being offered a Minnie Kelly myself. So just know, this is a great example. Be patient, be patient. It will happen for you as well. Please let go of the idea of there is a formula. There is no formula that I am aware of. Listen, I already said it, but if you know the secret sauce, the formula, drop it in the comments. I want to know. But then also, don't gatekeep. Comment below so we all can know. I need to know what the secret formula is, because I have not experienced one at all. I just haven't. It has not been my experience. If there was a secret formula, listen, you know you're talking to your vet sojourner. So you know if there was any secret formula, it would no longer be secret, okay? Because your vet sojourner is just going to let you know. I'm just going to tell it all. That's just who I am. There are no secrets here. If I could start my Hermes experience all over again, I would tell myself, building a collection or a wardrobe is a long-term process that doesn't happen overnight. That is a good ending. I feel that is a good closing to this discussion. I would definitely tell myself that. For some, it may happen overnight. For some, it may. But for me personally, no. It's still happening. I am still going through the process and the evolution when it comes to my wardrobe. So I would tell myself just to be patient. It will take time, but it all will happen. Just wait and see. So this is all I have for you today. This is all I had for you today. I wanted to sit down, do a little chat after doing the McCann and everything else. I just wanted something a little more loose so that I can, so I can get up close and personal with you all, but also test out this new camera. Let me know what you think. What do you think of the quality of the image? Let me know your thoughts, the sound, so on and so forth. I am testing out some new things for all of you because I really do enjoy talking with all of you and showing up at my best for all of you. So with that being said, if I could start the Hermes process all over again, I would. These are all the things I would do. If I missed anything, feel free to comment below, ask any questions you may have, but also drop in the comments some of the things that you have gone through and experienced so it can be shared with the community. As always, thank you for joining me. Until next time.